Many of us identify as either introverted or extroverted, right? And if you look online and you look at the percentages of the population, the percentage of the population that identifies introverted is, I believe, between 60 to 70%. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. But many people that I find in my life say that they're introverted. They don't like to be around people. They prefer to be them to themselves, right? And this video is for those that do call themselves introverted, right? Because I used to call myself introverted. And I'll say I fall somewhere in the middle now. But it's a spectrum. It's not either introverted or extroverted, right? And I propose the question today: are you really introverted, or are you just socially anxious and hiding behind introversion, right? When I was starting my cold approach journey, I didn't realize that I was socially anxious, that I had social anxiety to express my desires, to express myself. And I realized this during my cold approach journey, which is still ongoing, but I realized this because it didn't just extend to the woman that I found attractive. It extended to men, to other people, extended to, you know, people that would work in stores. I couldn't even approach them to initiate a conversation, to go up to them and ask them a question, or to go up to them and even speak my mind. Hey, excuse me, you have a nice jacket. I felt awkward about it. I felt weird about it. I felt like my voice didn't matter. I felt like I would be seen as weird, as creepy, as, oh, why are you bothering me? And this is the reality that a lot of people live in. They're socially anxious. They're not really introverted. And you'll see this with, you know, tendencies of performing, trying to feel seen, or trying to impress people, or trying to make people feel, how do I say this? Try to feel validated by people. Excuse me. And when you start to observe the average person's behavior and you engage with them in conversation, most people are playing a character. Most people are just out there impressing one another, trying to see who could perform better. And when you live this way, you live with this constant tension of care. You care too much. That causes anxiety. You're going around playing a character. You can't be who you are. You can't be free. You can't be authentic because you're hiding in fear. You're afraid to be judged. You're afraid to be seen. You're afraid to be misunderstood. And when I was out, like, socializing with people, and I started to realize these patterns, right? I started to realize, like, I have a fear of being seen. And once I started to question those fears instead of letting them sit, I realized that most people aren't really socially anxious. I mean, introverted, they're socially anxious. They want to express themselves. They have impulses to go up and talk to people and initiate conversation. But they mute their own voice, and they allow themselves to stay quiet. Many men, they live with the idea that if they cold approach a woman, they're a weirdo and they're a creep because of things that they see on social media, things that they see on Instagram. But if I go up to her, what if she does it? Who the fuck cares? In this season, one of my mentors has been telling me better to ask for forgiveness than permission. And honestly, that is true. When you're in social dynamics, if you want to lead and be seen as the leader, you have to have internal authority first. You have to trust yourself first. You have to trust your word first. You have to have standards so that way when someone crosses that standard, You're able to check them without this, okay, did he disrespect me? Did he not? Is this weird? Is it not weird? Who the fuck cares? Right? But it's easier said than done because you still feel that internal resistance as you go through different layers of fear. If you're a social anxious person, socially anxious, sorry. When you mute your voice in public, in social dynamics, social settings, when you don't speak when you want to speak, when you don't assert yourself, you will feel lost. You'll feel shut out. You'll feel unheard. And that's not everybody else's problem. That's your problem. That's a you issue. And that's one step forward to really creating a presence for yourself and getting over social anxiety is understand the way that you present yourself is the issue rather than the people around you. See, with me, I always trusted who I was, but I didn't trust my impulses. I decided it would be better to mute, right? And in the moment of that social challenge, right, there was parts of me that didn't trust my voice. Consciously, I did. Consciously, but in the back of my head, no, I didn't. I didn't. I could tell you where a lot of these fears came from too. They came from my childhood. When I was forced under pressure to go ask certain, clerks, cashiers, or order, and I felt afraid. I felt like, what are they thinking about me? That comes from childhood. When, I would go out and like talk to people in groups and I'd feel afraid because I felt like all the eyes in the group were looking at me. My body would tense up. Wow, where did that come from? It came from my childhood. And when you can start to understand where like a lot of your fears come from, this makes everything in your life better. Not just socially, but it allows your spirit to expand. These layers of fears that you live with in your body, you finally release it. It's like you're updating your software. This is where self-sabotage comes from. There's parts of you that you're living with that are holding you back, that once served you, that no longer serve you. Many of us wish we could express our voice. Many of us wish that we could trust our voice. And you can, but you have to do the work. You have to be willing to put yourself out there if you're socially anxious. You have to be willing to strike up conversations and initiate. You have to be willing to overcome your fears and explore those fears. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But the goal, the outcome, the reward is the presence that you build, the magnetism, where you become a social butterfly, where you begin to meet people and doors open up to you and opportunities and people look out for you and you look out for them. This was just something on my spirit because it's something that I was dwelling with for a long time. And now things, like I said, are way better. I'm able to initiate conversations now easily. I'm able to express myself the way I want to. And this has made me a better man overall. And has made my other pursuits way easier. You could express yourself online, but it's easy to hide behind the phone, hide behind comments. But when you're out socializing with strangers, not your friends, but strangers, you have to trust your voice. And you have to sit with those fears. And when you do, and you finally overcome those fears and you understand where they come from, and you install them with new truth, you become a much freer man. Peace.